Hey everyone, sorry I got cut off on my last video, so this is technically part 12 now. So yeah, we've put the negative display on the bottom, and we've taken out all the air bubbles that we can, and let's take a look now at what the display looks like. Okay, we'll check it around, and that looks great. You know, sometimes if you don't take out the air bubbles, the most common places to see them are here, around the borders. Okay, and if you're doing this project and you have like a small, almost like a fleck of gold right in the display that matches the numerals, that just means there might be a little bit of air in there. So you can just put it down, take that protective film we just took off, put it back on, and just slowly try to nudge it from the inside to the outside to get that air out of there. So that part looks great. So let's move to the top now. So here's our top display. We're going to dry run this and put it on the top. Okay, and then we'll put this here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I don't have any of that film overriding into the bottom, which is great. Sorry about that. Camera fell down. Okay, so what we can do is, looking at this now, I know that this is not the adhesive side. The adhesive side is on the other side here. So we'll get everything ready to go. Clean the display a little bit. Okay, that looks great. We'll take our filter here, peel off the back. And then we'll press this onto the display itself. Grab my toothpick here. Push it down till it touches that other filter that we already installed, and then push it in like that. Great. And then what we can do is take our toothpick and kind of go around the border here, around the perimeter, just to put that adhesive down. Take your finger, just kind of push that all down. And the good thing with this is you won't really notice the air bubbles with this version. It's more evident in the negative display. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and take out that other film that's on the top here. Okay. And let's take a look at our display. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's get some of these air bubbles out. Okay, fantastic. And then we'll go ahead and grab our masking. Right, so we'll take our masking now, put this over the watch unit, and let's take a look and see how it looks. Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm so glad I went back and fixed that nick there, because even though the final product he wouldn't have noticed, the filter on the top now looks, or the display on the top looks so much crisper to me, at least in person, compared to the factory filter. I think the factory filter is not 0 degree polarized filter, but this looks, oh man, it looks really great. I actually think I might redo my own personal watch, which is the same one that he's getting, because this one looks a lot better than mine. Great, so we have that all set to go. We're gonna grab our watch now. Okay, let's find that 12 o'clock position, which is up here. We're gonna check our display to make sure there's nothing on the inside. Great. Take our display, or our masking, put the masking inside. Okay, take our watch unit, give it a little bit of a dusting. Okay, looks great. Put that down. We'll go back and check the pushers to make sure they're contacting the tongues properly, like we talked about earlier. Looks good. We're going to double check to make sure that we have that spring still there. Yep, we do. Just next to that AC button. Take your gasket or your O-ring, lay it inside. This one has already been oiled, so I don't have to do it again. Take our cover, the 1200, lay that down. And we'll just reattach this. So yeah, you know, it's a long process, but the more you do these, the better you get at them. And the great thing about, you know, working on the Casio World Time Series is these watches are relatively cheap for most people. I mean, you can get most of these watches for under 30. Some of the harder to find ones, or the discontinued ones, like this 1300 model, are, you know, just shy of 40 bucks. But it's great fun. You know, there's not really a lot of harm. If you make a mistake, it's not an expensive mistake. And you can really, with a few filters, a few materials that you saw me have here, and some polarized filter, you can have a lot of fun playing around with this. If you get bored of your watch after a few years, just change the look up a bit, you know. So, I don't know. For me, at least, I find these pretty cool to work on. So, great. We've reattached this. Before we put on the bracelets, let's take a look one more time. This is going to look a little crinkly because I've already put protective tape. So every time I ship this to a customer, I put a thin film of tape over it. Okay. And through the tape, that looks good. Actually, let's take the tape off and take a real look, and then I can always put another one on. Okay. So that looks good. Okay, let's reattach the bracelet again. Spring bar in. Give it a jiggle. Oop. So that one came off. So that's why we give the band a jiggle, because you'd rather have it come off while it's on the table than come off while it's on your wrist. Okay, grab my lug tool here. There we go. Jiggle again, other side jiggle. And that looks fantastic. Let's, I don't think this is gonna fit me. It's a little big, but let's take a look on the wrist. And there you go. You've got your brand new modified AE 1200/1300. And this is just great. You know, I never was a fan of this stainless steel bracelet from the factory. The minute I got mine, I took it off and I put it on leather. But with this negative display and the yellow accents, that's fantastic. Now, for those of you that grab a watch from me, I'll be happy to size it for you. Just send me your wrist size. I'll also set the date and time zone for you. For everyone else that does this yourself, I have another video on my page that shows you how to disassemble the bracelet and how to pop off some of these links to size it. And if you want to size your wrist yourself, go to Google because there's an exact way to measure the circumference of your wrist so that way you know how many links to remove. But anyways, that's it. This took a little bit longer than I was hoping for, but you know, nothing beats doing a job well, and I'm hoping that the customer will like this. So let's get both watches now. I actually modified the other one earlier. I've done videos on putting filters into watches already, so I didn't want to take up more space by doing this one, but this is the other watch he's getting, and you can see here that I put just a blue filter that's shaped like an L to cover this, and then I got a yellow filter for the analog clock, and so he'll be getting both of these in the mail this week. So thanks for sticking with it, guys. If you have any questions, shoot it below. If you could subscribe or like, that would be much appreciated, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a nice day.